And well, hello and welcome to the MoJo Monday with this beautiful community that we love called Zalevo. We want to welcome everybody. I'm Robert down here, and it's been a brisk day in North Central Texas, and my co-host with the most,
Mr. Jim Rhodes, up in beautiful St. George, where it was just a nice toasty 83 degrees.
Celsius.
Real toasty.
Yeah, real toasty. That would be really toasty, wouldn't it? So
yes,
we want to welcome everybody, and thanks for doing. Jim, don't we love saying this? We're all doing what 95% of the world typically does not do, is
show up.
Yeah, we're here. You're showing up, and you're showing up with smiles on your faces and hopefully open hearts and minds. And tonight we're definitely in for a treat with some beautiful stories, authentic, raw, and real. And so welcome. So let me share my screen for just a couple minutes. Jim, we're gonna run through this here so we can get to the stories.
You bet. Well, welcome to MoJo Monday, where Zalevo's next level of wellness stories is shared. There is nothing scripted. These are all just their stories. And tonight, what's the fastest way to shed body fat for good? Say goodbye to it and not have it come back and invite its friends. We're here. Actually, I'm here in toasty St. George, where our headquarters to Zalevo is. And that name is very unique. It's actually made from three words, or three syllables anyway, Zalevo. And the Z stands for zenith, which is the highest point of an arc. And levo is Latin for to lift. So it's derived from the Latin words levo and zenith, which have a combined meaning of the time in one's life of greatest power and success. Elevate, rise up, uplift, enhance, and elevate people to their highest potential. And the way we have a double win on this is if we're sharing this with others, that blesses us as we bless them. And fasting to shed those unwanted pounds and make it permanent. That's tonight's theme, and we have some very special guests who are about to share their stories of a product or two that they use to help achieve that. And we have some guests coming up next week and the next week. And so come in your costume next week if you like Halloween in any way, but wear a smile on your face. So that means no masks, or else we won't know who you are. We're not doctors, so we don't prescribe. We don't diagnose, and we certainly suggest if anybody's changing their diet and adding exercise that they do consult with their physician, especially if they're on medication. And as a disclaimer, this is not food. It does not heal. This is food that feeds the body. All of our products are natural, made from the earth foods that go in and help the body do what it was designed to do. And that is including some self-healing. In fact, a lot of it for many people. So the stories you'll hear tonight aren't exactly what's going to happen to you. This is individual on each case with their determination and their willpower and whatever they did to put this product in their body. Their results is probably pretty typical to what you can expect, but isn't necessarily promised. So the next person we get to bring on board happens to be my daughter-in-law, somebody I'm very partial to because she's brought three of my favorite grandkids to this world. And I was just with them today. You can see them over there in the left-hand corner, kind of. And Romy is actually from the great country of Chile. And my son, while serving a service mission for his church, was in Santiago for a couple of years and met this young lady came home from his mission and then went all the way back because all of the girls he was dating here didn't quite measure up to what he remembered about her, even though he had never dated her. And sure enough, they fell in love. And we're so grateful for her to be part of this family. So with that, Robert, I'll turn it over to you to do the rest of the interview.
All right. Well, I'm going to actually I think you've already introduced her. So Romy, welcome to the call tonight.
Hi, oh, that beautiful pictures. I was like,
Yeah, and that's a wonderful place to start. Can you describe maybe one reason why it melts your heart to see each of these pictures? What's supported?
okay, so the first picture on the one that is with my whole family. We can see my 3 beautiful kids, my amazing husband. We are in California. We are having fun. And the middle picture is with the trip with we went to Escaret for what is the name of the trip?
With Zalevo.
Yes. What is the
I don't
name
know
of
the name of it.
Yeah, but it was amazing. This is the thing that I love the most about Zalevo as a company. It is the leadership. Like we was in other companies and we work, Jonathan, most of that, he does more than that, training and coaching business. And this company, it is so amazing. So I never ever saw a CEO or owner of a company going to the floor to take a picture of an associate. Never. And he and the whole team, really, they are so nice. Their human connection, it is so beautiful. So that is the thing that I love the most, other than the product, about this company. I love the leadership of this company, and for that reason, it's attracting amazing people like you guys, like all of us. Yes.
Well, we're so thankful you and Jonathan are part of this community. And so tonight we called this, Romy, fasting. We're focusing on fasting, how it pertains to next level wellness and health, and then also, simply enough, shedding maybe some unwanted body fat. So could you make a couple comments? Number one, whether one or two aspects of your fitness level, your health, even body composition, maybe that you would like to shift at the beginning, and then how you incorporated specifically the fasting aspect of Zalevo as well. I'd love you to kind of combine those two.
Okay, in my case, I have to say that I am almost 50 and I never expect to be in this shape and how I feel. Right? I feel so great. And I have, like, the thing that I love the most about the burning, it is not only the side benefit that you lose weight, and it is how great you feel with it. Mm-hmm. Every time that I use it, really, if I have, this is my experience, and I'm not going to say that this is going to be for everybody, but a couple of years ago, when we had the first time COVID, I feel so weak and really, really bad after that. And I remember that the only thing I can handle was the shakes during the time that I was sick. But after that, my brain was so foggy that I cannot even think. And it was not until the day that I did a burn that I feel a huge change. It's like the fog in my brain disappeared, and I go back to be me. So, and in the way that I love to do it, I love to do it if I want to lose weight like fast and go, like if we have an event or something like that. I do like a 2 days burn and then a week of very, very healthy eating, and then 2 days and boom, I'm back. And I love that. And plus I feel fantastic. But the way that I do it daily is the trifecta. That is I basically eat in the afternoon, and then in the morning I wake up early, I take some other products, and then I take my trifecta, that is the burn, the e-vibe, and the collagen.
Okay.
And, so that then my fasting is until around 12 or 1 every single day. What I noticed with that is I don't have anything like wrinkles in my neck. So if I can see things outside of my body, I am pretty sure that inside of my body, these products are doing something phenomenal, because I am not putting them in my skin. I am drinking them, so I'm eating them. So I know that these products are giving me like I'm getting healthy from the inside out. And what I see in my skin, it is just the reflection of what is happening inside.
No, yeah, you have a beautiful story, and you had that Z glow going on as well. So thank you for sharing. Jonathan, from your perspective, being her sweetheart and who's an amazing hubby to Miss Ronnie. So what's one or two just practical, what are one or two changes you've seen in your own wife?
Oh my goodness. Well, she's always been drop dead gorgeous, and every single form that she's ever had has absolutely been amazing. But I will say, since Zaleva has come into our life, I can see that she's not only maintained that beauty, but she's actually somehow looking younger, feeling younger every day, a little bit more. And it's crazy because time's going by, but I feel like we're going the other way. Physically in her skin, sometimes she has a couple of skin tags when we were first over the last couple of years. And as soon as the collagen came out, the skin tags disappeared. And she had a couple of skin spots that were there, and they also have disappeared. And so that to me is amazing. She's like, look at this. It used to be here. Now it's not.
Yes. And this is the cool thing, how amazing it is. Present yourselves to the world even without makeup, and just be you, and feel good doing it. And it's good for you too. So I love that.
And do you both fast at the same time, or do you fast at different times on the burn?
Yeah, we try to do it together. If we are doing a full one, we try to do it together because it's more fun.
Yeah, that's always fun to fast with friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And the daily one, yeah, he goes with a trifecta in the morning too, or burn.
I do burn and e-vibe and burn and drench almost every day.
And the other thing that I noticed with Jonathan too, it is every single time that he does like a burn, he gets definition in his muscles. So it's not even fair, because he doesn't even do exercise, and he come back to have definition in his muscles. So it's like, are you kidding me? The other thing it is that he changed his diet to vegan right now because since he was young, he has trouble with his gut, and we have like a lot of years of working on it, and now he went to see health people, and they said will be good if you go for vegan for at least 3 months. And everything that we was doing was like until he started taking the products in the mornings. Was the only thing that basically was making him and me too feels like amazing, like you don't want to stop. And like it is crazy to me. And then we see the food looks so good, and it's okay, and you eat it, and then you don't feel as good as you feel something that is 100% healthy.
Yeah.
So that transition, I'll tell you, Zaleva has been a lifesaver for me in that transition. Mm-hmm. Like every morning I look forward to my drench and burn. It's just like, that's what I like. I crave that every day. I will tell you, I accidentally I ordered the pink one, the drench, and I like the blue raspberry one. And I was a little grumpy around the house for a month or so while I finished that one. But today I was like, oh no, I'm out of that one. Shoot. And I went to the cupboard and I found a blue one. And I literally was dancing back into the kitchen with my blue raspberry drench. It's helped me so much. And I love.
And they are delicious.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
You just
It
feel
is-
light and good.
Yes, it is not like when we have some minerals and they are amazing. Every time that we are sick, we just take them. But they're disgusting, but they're really good for you. These ones are so different.
They're good for you and they taste good for you.
That's a good combination. So
Yeah, you make like a big bottle and you are so happy drinking that when it's gone, it's like, oh.
you
So
guys
yeah,
are awesome. You guys are awesome. Thanks for your spirits, your hearts, and how you show up in life. Thanks for sharing your story tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, love and light to you both. Take care.
Back at you.
You guys are awesome. So I think it's contagious in all of Jim's family. They're all just amazing people for some odd reason. I'm not sure why. Who agrees with me on that one? Those of you who have met many of his kids and his in-laws and his grandkids, and now on from there. Anyway, we love your kids, Jim.
Thank you. They've all been raised by their mother. She's done a great job.
Yes, well, we have some more stories coming in. So now
You
we're
bet.
going to go over to Miss Monique, and she has an interesting perspective on the fasting journey. And I asked her to be very raw and real tonight, and she's going to do that. And before I go there, let me just show a couple little visuals here. Miss Monique, let me see if I can share my screen again. And there's Romy. Oh, here's Monique. So yeah, beautiful lady, inside and out. You see the left, big part of her, previous journey. You see the transformation. You see her in the gym, working on those guns. And look at the great picture on the right, very fit and healthy. So yeah, Monique, you're on quite the journey, my friend. So let's go back and hear from this awesome lady. And by the way, she is a true servant leader. How many of you have been inspired and motivated and affirmed from Miss Monique? She is a true servant leader. So Miss Monique, welcome to the call. See if she can unmute. I think you're still muted, Miss Monique.
Okay, there we go. I'm on my phone because you know how my computer makes me look crazy. So I had to get on my phone. Anyway, that was a great testimonial, Romy and Jonathan. It was great hearing their story. So I do have a little bit of a twist. I haven't gotten into the intermittent fasting as much as everybody else has, as far as the length, getting into that autophagy phase. And I know that I need to do it. I mean, look at Kathy's sorry, it's my pool pump. Sorry.
It's fine. Yeah.
So sorry. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Anyway, what I do is I'm very adamant about hitting the gym every day. I do it whether I want to go or I don't want to go. And part of that routine is taking the burn mode every single day. I take it with my drench. I start my morning with the alpha and the collagen. So I'm kind of doing the trifecta, but in a different way. So I do my alpha and collagen as I'm driving to the gym. And then when I'm at the gym, I do my drench and my burn. So the burn kind of combines with the alpha to give me that extra little oomph that I need, that motivation. The drench obviously helps with the electrolytes and the hydration, and it helps me from that aspect. But I have done burns. At first I was reluctant because it's kind of scary. It's really intimidating. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to starve. How can someone go for 80 hours? Like, oh my gosh, Donna and whoever else does those long fasts. I so admire you. So my very first long fast, I would say, was about 32 hours. And I was actually really shocked at how easy it was. And what I like to do is I like to cheat as much as possible. So I load, you have to have your shakes. If I don't do my 2 shakes and I don't have all that healthy nutrition in my body, then the burning makes it burn mode and intermittent fasting are much more difficult. So I like to load really well. And then I start my burn at 3 o'clock in the afternoon so that when I get up the next morning at 3:30, I have already done over 12 hours of fasting and I'm well into my ketosis and all that sugar burning. And by the time I hit the gym, well, now I'm fat burning and I'm working out and burning that way. And then when I come home, depending on how I feel, I'll either have another burn with a drench again, or I will decide to have a shake. It just depends on how I feel. So the time that I did the 32-hour burn, I just kept going. And I'll have to say one of the reasons why I think it was so successful for me was the drench and the E-Vibe watermelon lime flavor. I have a sweet tooth, and sometimes when we think we're hungry, it's really because we need something to drink, or if we're craving something, it's really, all in our mind and all in our mindset. So I found that if I couldn't go that 4 hours, maybe it was 3 hours, I would do my burn. And if it was early enough, I'd add the E-Vibe. Or if it was later in the day, I would add the drench. And you know what? It carried me over. It satisfied that, okay, I'm not hungry anymore. And so my longest fast has been 44 hours. And I've encouraged my friends who have told me, oh my gosh, I could never do that. I'm only going to do it for 12 hours. I have a girlfriend that I said, you can do it. Just listen to your body. If you're hungry, then stop. But if you can keep going, if you do, take your E-Vibe your burn mode every 3 to 4 hours, it really satisfies you. You're not hungry. It's crazy how that works. It, supports your liver, pancreas, and your kidneys so that it's getting the nutrients that it needs so that you can move forward in your day successfully. So I'm looking forward to doing some longer fasting. I'm getting results. They're just not as fast.
Well, yeah. And guys, anybody watching this call tonight, I really wanted to specifically bring you on, Monique, because let's be real and the honest truth. Wouldn't you agree, Monique? There will be a good percent of people on these label formulations in the past, now, in the future, who never ever do an autophagy fast. Let's be real about it. That being said, is autophagy fasting one of the most beautiful ways to activate that cell regeneration, activate so many beautiful things in the body? Heavens, yes. And so, Monique, you're a beautiful example of the elephant in the room, which is it's a little scary for a lot of people. Okay. And again, you're doing your own version of fasting, and it fits your body, it fits your mind, it fits your heart, and you're getting great results.
Exactly. At least I'm doing something, and that's better than doing nothing. And the fact that I'm drinking burn mode every day with all the crazy health benefits that it offers, that ORAC score is amazing. I'm doing a lot of good just by drinking it every day. I can do a lot better by getting into autophagy and the human growth hormone and all of that fun stuff. It'll come. Yeah.
And you've been there a few times, and yes, and we applaud you for being so transparent as well. Thanks for doing that.
May I add this too?
So sorry for that noise.
Oh, no problem. When Michelle Peterson started, she was only using, even though she got the big package, she was only using the shakes twice a day, and literally in less than probably 70 days, she had dropped nearly 40 pounds. When I talked to her and she told me she had lost that much weight just using the shakes and meals, she said, now I need to know how to use the other products. I went, oh, Michelle, you're going to start putting on guns and doing everything else here. So yeah, there's no wrong way. The shake alone will help us drop that weight and literally build muscle at the same time. That's what it's so good at doing.
Very true, Jim. And I've had customers to start with the biome trim and the burn mode. That's it. And just do that before bed. And they were getting great results too. So there's all kinds of ways. So one of our goals on these calls is to be real and give you permission and a ton of grace. There's no We're not painting into a box or a corner. Are there other ways to optimize your results? Yes, Anita's gonna talk about that, and so are Paul. So Monique, you are beautiful inside and out. Thank you for always being a light for others, and thanks for being on our call tonight. Thank you. Yeah, you bet. Anita says hi as well. Saw her waving there. Okay, now we're gonna go just a few miles, just a couple miles, Jim, way down. And I'm gonna start with showing you guys a map. I put together a little slide just to kind of put this in perspective for you. So here's where we're going. We're gonna go see a gentleman who's sitting outside in a beautiful spot. It's daytime there, in case it's probably evening where you're at. And we're gonna go not up here, but we're gonna go way down in the Southern Hemisphere. And right on the eastern seaboard right here, there's a little town in Australia is where Paul is sitting right now. So let me just show a couple of visuals and then we'll introduce Paul to you. First of all, Paul just recently won $1,000. How about make some energy or make some movement there for Paul? Yeah, it's amazing. He just won. For those watching this and you aren't aware of this, we have an ongoing revolving 8-week challenge called the Trends with a Z Farm. And here's Paul's little article. I was not where I wanted to be in my life. I had a lot going on because of the overwhelm. I hadn't exercised, oh my goodness, 10 weeks. My eating habits were slipping. I normally feel strong and confident. That was going downhill. When I found out about Zalevo, I got that spark of hope. Excitement was undeniable. And now through discipline, eating better, learning, taking these formulations, he is truly, he's in his own words, becoming the person he aspires to be for him and his loved ones. So his goal is to live a long and prosperous life, vital, focusing on well-being, to be the best version of himself for his children, grandkids. Here's Paul in a very recent picture. Looking very svelte there and strong. There's a little before and after. I didn't put a picture up here. Paul can reference this. Even before he was introduced to Zalevo, he was in a whole different body composition as well. So it's literally been a 13-month wellness journey, and now about a 3-month Zalevo journey to finish the deal here. And you see him there celebrating his win on the Transform Challenge. So without further ado, let me stop my share and bring the real live amigo here on. And
okay,
welcome, Paul.
welcome. Have you got me there?
Give that to me.
Hear me?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Give it to me
Yeah, hang on,
now.
let me mute my line.
Beautiful.
Mute the meeting again, Paul, 1 second. I apologize for that. Those things happen when you're in a Zoom full of all kinds of people. And most of the time it's not obviously intentional. So let me, so Paul, could you unmute again?
Okay, have you got me?
We've got you now. Welcome, welcome.
Well, welcome. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Romy, Jonathan, and Monique for sharing your stories. Amazing. I've followed Monique quite a bit, actually. She's been amazing. She's been a great encouragement to me, actually, since I've started this journey, which is amazing. She's probably seen a few clips further of my whole journey in all of that. So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Had a beautiful girlfriend who introduced me to Zalevo early. I think I got my products actually 10th of August. And she straight away encouraged me to do this transform journey. She said, you can win it. You can win it. Such is your determination. I'd not done any exercise for 10 weeks at that stage. I was not in a great way physically, like my knee was jamming up a lot. I had a few issues. So I was sort of going to work, coming home, icing my knee, hoping to get myself in a state to be able to go to work the next day. That was sort of where I was at. So started... My first actually little thing was doing a burn day. My first day on it. So I didn't do really any prep prior to. So I really struggled doing my burn. My first burn was like, wowza. And I said to my beautiful friend, Corinne, I said, wow, I've never experienced anything like this. Like it's just like, it's almost killing me. So I sort of went straight in, no ultra day or anything before, no different nutrition. And it was like, wow, I did a 42-hour burn. I was like, yep. So then since then, my last probably 5-6 burns, amazing. Like my body has just changed. Like my levels of just energy have changed. Like I actually put a post on last night. I actually did I sort of got home after working 11 hours on a roof in, what would be your 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'd worked there all day, got home. I was on a Zoom meeting. I finished that Zoom meeting at like 8:30, 8:40 last night. Whilst I was doing that, I had a quick bit of dinner. I actually went out and did a 35-kilometre ride after that, got home at 11. Did a wax session this morning. So there was a photo on there. I turned 54 last week. So yeah, I'm in a spot where honestly I feel the strongest I've felt in probably 25, 30 years, which is amazing. My body composition has changed. Like I've got muscles like that I haven't probably seen for 20 years. So yeah, it's amazing. Like my journey with Salavo has been truly transforming. So totally humbled to win that Transform Challenge. Like I actually choked up in that, and it's so transforming. Like if I could share this with everybody in the world, I would. Totally would.
Well, we're on a mission to do that in a journey. And so speaking of going back to the fast again, so your first one, you just stepped into it all out, 40 something hours. So what is your normal, fasting or, journey these days? What's your normal calendar look like around that?
Yeah, so basically what I used to do, I used to weekly fast. I used to fast and pray. So probably never going to a point of autophagy or anything like that. So I used to fast and pray. I'd have a few snacks with that because of the job that I did. So I'd have nuts and things like that. So I'd never heard of autophagy. So it was just a game changer for me once I actually started that. So now I probably at the moment, I'm doing a 750K ride this month for a charity ride to raise money for leukemia, for children with leukemia. So with that, and I'm actually doing the Australian Transform Challenge as well. So my burn days are probably every fortnight at the moment. So I'd probably do a 48 every fortnight, which sort of suits what I'm doing at the moment. As I said, I'm feeling amazing. My energy levels are just next level. I work with some young guys and they're just going, dude, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. And they're sort of not seeing what I'm doing after. So it's amazing, like truly transforming and amazing what these products are doing.
So are there any I wouldn't call them, I guess we can call them tricks, but are there any little personal secrets or ways that you get through your especially your autophagy fast? Do you love the e-vibe on those days and the drench? What are some of your secrets there?
So drench I obviously use on those days. So my drench is amazing actually. So like last night, like yesterday, I probably drank 5 liters of water at home. As soon as I got home, I had drench. Collagen is amazing for me because, as I said, my knee was I couldn't drive in a car for more than 10 minutes without my knee locking up. Now I'm on Sunday, I went for a 5K beach jog. I did a gym session in the morning and I did a 48-kilometre ride after that in the evening. So I never would have been able to do that in the last 20 years, not in one day, definitely not. So, a mix of what all of this is. But the burn, I guess what it's done to my system, like my internal system, to receive the other products and just get me to a point where, yeah, I feel amazing. Like I have next energy level like I've not experienced for years.
Wow. Yeah, I love your share and the journey you're on. Jem, you have any questions for Paul?
No, I am just blown away too. He's really putting it to the test. And he's using all the products to their best advantage and seeing the results.
Yeah, no, it is truly amazing. Like I'll give you my 13-month journey. Like I stood on a beach with my beautiful daughter just over 12 months ago. I was 99.3 kilos. I looked at that photo and went, wow, you need to you need to change something. So I did. I went into a nutritional phase. I actually couldn't walk into a gym or do any weights for 6 weeks. So was my body. Like, it was in such a bad state. I used to cramp at night a lot. Like, I used to struggle to do anything. So I went on that. I lost 22 kilos in 22 weeks, which is amazing. But in that, I still was like, really struggling with, I'd never taken supplements. So I was really struggling. So hence I sort of got back to that stage where, before Zalevo, like, I was struggling just with my knee pain and a bit of back pain and things like that, doing the job that I do. So, that's where
Paul, we'd love to
Zalevo-
use, Paul, we'd love to use that in the story. Could you say the same thing, but replace the P word with discomfort so I could use your story?
Yeah. So Zalevo was just game changer. The way it just changed my whole body, and I guess just the way this system just worked for me, the energy levels within that were just next level. So, I just couldn't believe the change. Like, I was skeptical, like everybody would be. I was skeptical. So I was like, I went in, I bought the Z pack, and I thought, well, I'll try it and just see what it does. Like, now I've bought 3 Z packs. So I just, it's next level. It's so next level. Like, I can't get enough of it. I get excited every time it turns up. It's like it's like opening Christmas gifts every time I get a new box. Because that's honestly the way I feel. One of the young men that worked for me, 20-year-old, he came in this morning. I'd shared a story, and he said, "Dad just said to me last night, what is this guy on? He is on serious drugs. Like, what's he on?" So such is the transformation and what I can do, the energy levels that I have.
Well, it comes through loud and clear, and your posture, your energy, your passion. I love your faith. So anyway, it's a beautiful journey we're on, my friend.
Thank you, and I love sharing.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on tonight. Thanks for taking your valuable time to come on and share your story with us, Paul. Obviously, Paul, we'd love to have you on again. And again, thanks for coming on. We'll be sure and invite Corinne and also Lauren here, some of your good buddies and coaches as well on our next few calls. So
awesome.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you, everybody, and so encouraging having such a beautiful community.
It is. So if you'll stay on, toward the end of the call, we all yell out thank you and love you and send love and light to you. So just hang in there if you will. All right, now, you bet. Now we're going to go over to a beautiful lady who I met at one of the, I think it was one of the retreats in St. George, and then obviously at many of our events. And she loves to inspire other people. And I think, well, what I know about this lady is one of the things that gets her out of bed every morning is the ability, anytime she can uplift and affirm another human being on this planet, that's what feeds her heart and soul. And she is beautiful. She's been on an amazing wellness journey. And she recently is also celebrating some big milestones when it comes to her own wellness journey, especially when it comes to her autophagy fasting and again, continuing to transform her own body and her own health. So Anita, welcome to our call, my friend.
Thank you so much, Robert. It's nice to see y'all. I recognize many of you. He asked me to share my story with Zalevo, and it's a little unique. And if you want to take notes, you can. Some of you have asked me to be on calls with some of your new customers who've had a gastric surgery. And so if you are interested in that or know people that you're working with, the burn, well, all the products really, but the burn, especially the process of doing a burn is a little unique for us. And it's a lot more work than what all the rest of you have to do. But for my story, real short, is 4 years ago, before I knew about Zalevo, I had gastric sleeve surgery. And looking back, and a year later, after losing my first 100 pounds, a year later, I was at a plateau with my weight loss. I was 400 pounds and had a lot of physical ailments. I will just say that. And as you can imagine, and I was 55. And had I had Zalevo, had I known about Zalevo, and people ask me this all the time, I would have never had the surgery. They take 80% of your stomach and it's for the rest of your life. You can't reverse it. And you're not really told everything. So it's been challenging, but this company and all of you, so many of you have inspired me so much. I've kept off 175 pounds. I lost another 75 pounds since coming to Zalevo a couple of years ago. And all of my family and many of my friends that are on the formulations. My 89-year-old father, his life was changed by these products, totally radically changed. 2 years ago, he was talking about heaven, and he was talking about his will and thinking, he said, I'm so run down, I'm so tired, Anita. He was bent over, and he radically, like in 90 days, he was a completely different person. He's 89, he's going strong. He said, I feel better than I felt in many, many years. And he uses pretty much everything every day religiously. So I had an experience last week with my a 60-hour burn, but I have to actually thank Jim and Jill. I don't see Jill on here, but it's really was inspired by Jim and Jill. When you have had gastric surgery, what's some of the hardest things about life is, number one, everything, portion wise, you can only eat 2 or 3, 4 bites of food at a time, many times a day. And the second thing is you're completely feeling dehydrated all the time, because you can never, like, I can't drink like you guys drink anymore. I can't drink. We can only sip. You can only sip water, because otherwise everything comes up and it's an overflow system. So we have to I have to sip water all day long, like every 2 or 3 minutes. And it's taxing. When I got on Zalevo, I had never, the other thing about gastric surgeries, you guys, is that your hair just falls out in clumps, like right away. And it takes like a year, they say, to start having it come back. And my hair was I was half bald. My hair was coming out in clumps. I got on Zalevo, and ever since, and I have no bald spots. I have thick hair. And ever since I started using Zalevo, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I'm only saying this to just tell you the power of this nutrition. Almost every time I go to the grocery, almost every time, I have people, total strangers, come up to me and say, oh my gosh, your hair is so beautiful and healthy. What do you do? And of course, a lot of times I tell them, and get their number and talk to them. But I have had a transformation with just my hair since I started Zalevo. It's just been unbelievable. I'm just so thankful for that, aside from all the weight, of course. So what Kirsty did for me a year and a half ago, when I met a lot of you in Utah with Cindy Talley, who brought me into Zalevo, I told her, Kirsty, because of my surgery, I cannot use burn. I can't use burn. I can't because of I don't know if it's ginger or something in there. And I said, I'm struggling with E-Vibe. And I said, I actually have to do, those of us with gastric surgeries, we can't do a shake twice a day. We have to do 4, because I can only do half a shake. I can only do 1 scoop, just because we can't, the volume, we can't drink that much, and we can't process it. We have to go slow. So for me, having 2 shakes a day, I do really 4 half shakes per day. Does that make sense? You guys get that? And I'm drinking, sipping, not drinking, sipping, from the moment I wake up till almost an hour before I go to bed. And so Kirsty sat me down and she thought it through, and she said, listen, Nita, I want you to start doing a burn, but only do half a stick, but double your time. So the rest of you do 1 stick every 4 hours, right? And she said, and you're with your E-Vibe. and now Drench, which is awesome. I'm in love with Drench. The pink hibiscus is a miracle. And I said, really? Like half a stick? She goes, yes, try it. The week after the conference we had, I did a 60-hour fast because of what she told me. And we didn't have Drench back then, so I had to have eVibe, but it's every 2 hours. If you do half a stick, if you have a gastric person that you're working with, a gastric surgery person, don't, discourage them. Just say, you just have to do half a stick, a burn, and half a stick of eVibe. And now Drench, except I can do a whole Drench because I'm just drinking it, doing 2 or 3 a day. But just do half a stick every 2 hours. So my commitment when I did my burn last week, after Jill and Jim came here to Yucca Valley, California last Monday at Cindy Talley's request to do a couple of meetings, and she got a whole ton of new customers and had a fantastic turnout. The first night, last Monday night, was kind of small. It was only a few of us, but I got inspired, and Jim inspired me because of his incredible teaching and his insight. And I felt like I was going back to Zalevo University. And then Jill inspired me because, to be honest with you, I mean, I didn't think she was lying, but her newest transformation, I thought maybe was a little more filters than like on video, like seeing her, but seeing her in person last week, oh my gosh, she just blew my mind. And I just got inspired. So the next night, Wednesday night last week, I did, and I haven't done a burn in a while. I haven't done one. It's such a commitment when you have had a gastric surgery. Everything's harder because every 2 hours you have to do the burn, and it's just and drinking enough and staying hydrated is just a big issue. But having Drench now for people like me, oh my goodness, so I did of course the Drench and the eVibe and the burn every 2 hours, half a stick. And I started it last Wednesday night. And my kids do burns. My 22-year-old son does a burn every week. He does like a 36 to 48 hour burn. He's 22 years old. And we always start our burn between dinner and bedtime. And so last Wednesday night, about 7 p.m., I started my burn. And because of what Jim was telling us and reminding me of last week, and he stood in that little office that we had the meeting, and I don't know, it was like the Holy Spirit. I'm into that. So it just inspired me. So Wednesday night, about 7 p.m., and I went till Saturday morning. And I'm telling you, no hunger, although there's head hunger. And for anybody, not just gastric sleep people, but if you're feeling hunger and you're doing the burn and the eVibe and the Drench, it's not hunger, it's head hunger. It's just a habit of eating. And so, Thursday morning, there was just, oh yeah, the habit. Oh, okay. So do more Drench and just drink. And by I hit autophagy, of course, Thursday. And by Thursday afternoon, I'm telling you, I was buzzed. I was almost like, I was buzzed. I was feeling better than I felt in a long, long time. Thursday night and Friday night, I have to admit, I had to take something natural to sleep because I was so alert and alive, and all my cells, everything was just so alive that I really had to have help sleeping Thursday and Friday night. It was just transformational. And the biggest issue for me, I don't know about some of you, but after a burn, a long burn, especially if you do more than 48 hours, my fear, frankly, like I'm a human being, was that I'd be tempted to binge. You're tempted, you're afraid, oh, I'm going to ruin all this the minute I start eating. But I had a plan. And if you have a plan, I worked my plan and planned my work. And so Saturday morning, all I did was 2 shakes. And again, I do 4 shakes because I do half a scoop. So I have to do twice as many. And then 1 light dinner with the kids. We just grilled some chicken and broccoli, and I had it planned. And then Sunday after church, I had it planned. And I'm not even tempted to sabotage myself. And honestly, Saturday morning, I wasn't hungry at all. And I actually had to remind myself, okay, Zalebo teaches you that you can't starve yourself. You have to have the nutrition. Okay, so I had to have my shake Saturday morning. And it was hard because I was feeling so good and I don't want to wreck it. But then, of course, when you drink, you drink a shake, you just feel so incredible. So that's kind of my story. And he asked me to share. And if you want to know the side effects, doing a 60-hour burn has a side effect. I lost 10 pounds of fat in 60 hours. And I've lost more since then, just even though I'm back to doing my ultra days, but it was a reset. And now I really think I really should, because I have more weight to lose. I really want to do, if I can do a 60-hour burn every week, that's what I'm going to do, because it's possible. And the drench, oh my goodness. And then whoever came up with the E-Vibe watermelon, I want to kiss you, because the old flavor I just couldn't deal with. And it's just heaven with the flavors, and I just love it. So anyways, that's my story.
Thank you, Anita. I need to jump in here just real quick to caution you. Your body is doing so much work during that fast. It is also cleansing out a lot of stuff that you don't want in your body.
Right.
You're doing a full body cleanse.
Right.
And you need a couple of weeks between any 48-hour or longer burns.
Oh, okay.
Or you will overtax your ability to filter it out and rinse it out fast enough. And it just take it. I'm not.
I will.
Congratulations, but
I'll take it.
Go
I'll take
a
your
little
advice.
slower.
I'll take your counsel. Maybe one or two a month. Maybe 1 or 2 a month.
2 max. Yeah, and
max.
make them a week and a half to 2 weeks apart.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
You bet.
It's a situation where maybe stepping into Mr. or Miss Much More isn't always more, and allowing your body time to, as Jim said, to recalibrate and rebalance.
Recover. Exactly.
Great counsel. Thank you, Jim. And Kirsty, like Jim, Kirsty says either 10 days or 2 weeks, just like, very similar coaching. So listen to your body.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Love and light. You are amazing and beautiful. Thank you, Anita.
Very true. Thank you.
Yes. So, David Hinton, could you summarize your journey specifically around fasting in 2 minutes? I would love for you to kind of bracket this. Most of the time you share your story from you were many health challenges. You were really, in all cases, weak, almost looking at, you're not sure if you're going to be around for the next year with your beautiful honey, Jerry. So could you focus in on, has fasting helped you, and why would you say fasting is one of your wellness tools now?
Well, when I was first introduced to the burn, I said I can't do it because I had to eat every 2 hours. But I did. My first fast with the burn was 19 hours, and I felt good. I never felt hungry. The next burn was 29, then 36, then 42, and we've gone as many as 51 and a half hours.
Wow.
It has literally blessed our lives. I've lost 40 pounds in that process. I've gained a number of those back. We just went to Oregon.
You didn't gain very much at the time.
Well, we went to Oregon, and when you're not where you can just eat the way you normally eat, I gained quite a few pounds.
Like 5 or 6 pounds. But we have control now because we have the burn.
We did a burn when we got home, and I had gained 6 pounds. I lost 7 in that 48-hour fast.
So we are still the same weight that we were after our first 2 months in Zalebo. So 2 and 2 and a quarter years ago, when we've lost our first weight, we've maintained because of the burn.
Wow.
And
So you-
I am a wimp, so I never take the burn alone. I don't like ginger, but the drench and the e-vibe are my saviors, because I will put half a stick of drench or half a stick of, I'll put a whole stick of drench in it, but half a stick of e-vibe when it's early in the day. And I'm just fine. And I don't get hungry, and we can go as long as we decide to go. But then I do get that head problem that Anita talked about, because I miss chewing.
Yeah.
And so I think, oh, maybe I need to end this, but we usually do at least 42 hours.
Wow. Yeah, one little suggestion, Jerry, to you specifically, what my honey does sometimes, you can actually put burn mode in and make it an ice. If you want to chew on something, you can put it in ice, make a little icy out of it, and even add some drench or revive. You can play around with that if you want something to kind of with a little more substance with your burn.
Satisfy that need.
Yeah. So
Was that fast enough, Robert?
that was awesome. You guys are, I just love you guys anyway, but yeah, you guys are always show up and you're smiling from the inside out there. You have that Z glow, and thanks for letting us all know that fasting, because you don't always share that in either of your stories. So it's good. It's fun to know and enlightening to know that fasting and the burn are vital parts of your wellness tools now. So thank you both.
Maybe one thing, if you'll let me, I told you I could not fast before. I had to eat every 2 hours, because I've been able to put my body in autophagy using the long fast with the burn. I can now do a 24-hour fast without the burn.
Whoa. Yeah, it's yeah, and that was a night and day difference from where you were, my friend. So Jim can attest to that. So guys, if you want to see all these individuals, except for probably, well, Paul, most of these individuals, we had the full longer interview on each of them. So you feel free to go. This call will be archived and recorded right there on YouTube. You simply type in Team Z for Zalevo, Team Z, and then Global Impact. And there's no other channel on YouTube called that once you get past Team Z Global. And all these calls are archived. You can see other beautiful interviews. This call will be up in the next 24 hours, and we invite you to share this as well. So we're always grateful and appreciative. Next Monday's Mojo will be focused on collagen and joint health. So we'll have about 2 or 3 shorter stories, and then we'll have one of our health professionals go a little more in depth into the collagen, how unique it is, and why our body needs that, and why our body even slows down the production of that at a certain age. So it's going to be a really fascinating call next Monday. Any other closing thoughts, Jim?
Other than just thank you. Is that 4 thank yous to everybody? 5.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim.
Thank
Yes,
you guys for just being
Thank you
here
for
and sharing
all of
from
you who
your
shared
heart.
tonight.
And Jim, speaking
That
of
was
that,
awesome.
guys, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And please, as I get to 3 in a moment, unmute and please send your love and thank you for all the guests tonight. So 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita.
Great testimonials.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Love you guys.
Love you all.
Have an
Great.
awesome night.
All
Love
right,
you.
Bye,
one
guys.
last thing. Jim always does this. Go ahead, Jim.
okay, at the count of 3, we're going to go force for good. And if you want, you can even be that force for good. 1, 2, 3. Force for good.
Good.
Oh, you guys are
Good night,
amazing.
everyone.
Good
Good night.
night, everyone.
Good night.